first at 4, a verdict has been reached in the trial of a man accused of shooting at 6 and injuring 5 people on Fort Stewart's Army base just last year.
A military court judge found Sergeant Cornelius Radford guilty of all remaining charges, and WSAV's Evan Smoke was in the courtroom when the decision was announced.
More than 10 months after opening fire on his fellow soldiers here at Fort Stewart, Sergeant Cornelius Radford was found guilty of 6 specifications of attempted murder. 2 specifications of attempted premeditated murder and 4 specifications of attempted unpremeditated murder. Radford previously pleaded guilty to 6 offenses of aggravated assault on March 31st. The trial this week centered around Radford's intent in the August 6, 2025 shooting. Prosecutors argued that he intended to kill his fellow soldiers, while the defense countered that Radford was suicidal and only trying to provoke police into shooting and killing him. The prosecution called 16 witnesses who testified about their experience that day. Despite the guilty verdict, the judge says there may be an unreasonable multiplication of charges in this case and asked counsel to share their input with him before sentencing. Sentencing is tentatively scheduled for Monday, June 22nd at 9 a.m., but this could be delayed after Radford's defense announced its intentions to file a motion that would lessen his sentence due to improper pretrial punishment. We'll let you know what decision is made. Reporting from Fort Stewart, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Radford's guilty verdict marks the beginning of the end of this story. It started on August 6, 2025, when Radford opened fire on the base before being subdued and arrested. Radford's charges were formally referred to a court-martial in December. That's just days later. Radford's plea was not guilty to 13 charges. In March, however, he pled guilty to 6 aggravated assault charges. Now, the court considered 6 attempted murder charges at trial and returned a guilty verdict.
We now know when the first step towards a retrial for convicted murderer Alec Murdaugh will happen and where. A status and scheduling hearing has been set for June 29th in Lexington County Court. Now, the state Supreme Court granted Murdaugh a chance for a new trial after determining then court clerk Becky Hill tampered with the jury to help lead them to a guilty verdict. Attorney General Alan Wilson has said he could even seek the death penalty in this case because of the brutal way that Murdaugh's wife Maggie and son Paul were killed. Murdaugh's attorneys say they will not accept a plea deal in this case. And 1 person is dead, 2 more injured after a single car crash in Long County yesterday. It happened around 4:25 yesterday afternoon in the area of George Swindell Road in Long County. Georgia State Patrol says the driver of a Saturn Oro drove too fast around a curve, left the road, then hit several trees before finally coming to a stop. The adult driver was killed. 2 juvenile passengers were left with minor injuries. GSP officials say none of the car's occupants were wearing seatbelts.
Now to our community report. Father's Day is Sunday, and to celebrate, Memorial Health is helping fathers of children in the neonatology intensive care unit. Every family of premature babies will receive a baseball with the print of their baby's foot on it. One NICU nurse says they make sure to send families home with souvenirs to help make life feel more normal for parents and to celebrate their baby's milestones. Alan Madrid's 10-week-old son is in Memorial's NICU right now. The baby was born at 24 weeks. Madrid says that he's the father of 2 girls, and this Father's Day is special because of his new gift, a son.
My wife didn't find out she was pregnant till March. Then April, he decided to, come to the world. So we just been adjusting, with the whole situation. It's been hard, but we always pray and we keep our head up and just keep pushing forward. This Father's Day makes it special because he's here. We will be here Sunday, spending it with him.
Now, this is part of a long-running tradition for Memorial. The hospital gives souvenirs in their NICU to parents every holiday.
Juneteenth starts tomorrow. It commemorates the end of slavery in the United States. WSV's Tyler Nicole spoke to the Tybee MLK Human Rights Organization about how they're celebrating the holiday this weekend.
Juneteenth on Tybee Island is not only about celebrating the end of slavery, it's also about recognizing the fight for civil rights, including the integration of beaches that were once denied to Black people. The 6th annual Wade-In will start the Juneteenth commemorations tomorrow morning. The Wade-In is followed by a 3-day festival that will include artists, vendors, nonprofit organizations, and performers.
I think it's very important that we celebrate Juneteenth because one, it's American history, it's our history, it's giving acknowledgement of, of our history and reference from being brought from Africa to be enslaved here in the United States, and then also, going to our emancipation, our freedom. So I feel that it's very important that, we continue to share our history, so therefore history doesn't repeat itself.
The weigh-in starts right here on South Beach tomorrow at 9 a.m. and then festivities will begin from 12 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday. Now you can find a full list of those festivities on our website. Reporting on Tybee Island, Tyler Nicole, WSAV News 3 on your side.
In less than 2 weeks, Effingham County Libraries will officially make the switch from Live Oak Library System to Statesboro Regional Library System. WSAV's Jillian Coles is joining us now with why county officials say this switch will provide more freedom for libraries.
Tina, Effingham Assistant County Manager Michael King says with this transition, it will not only be beneficial financially for the county, but give libraries more of a local voice. The regional board under Live Oak Public System had 2 Effingham County representatives, 2 Liberty County, and 8 for Chatham County. Now under Statesboro Regional Library System, Effingham County will be able to set their own fees as well as make county-based decisions on activities and programs. King says the Statesboro Library System will be focused on what Effingham County citizens want.
Hey, what are the needs of the citizens of Effingham County? And that way we can address those individually, like, hey, we may want this subscription-based service versus what somebody else is doing because it better fits our population. And so there's just a lot more freedom in doing that under the Statesboro system.
The Springfield and Rincon branches of the Effingham County Library System will be closed the last week of June ahead of this transition. Effingham County residents will need to pick up a new library card once the transition is final. Jillian Coles, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Jillian, thanks so much. And happening right now, our Schools Out Summer Food Drive is continuing. We're teaming up with Second Harvest of Coastal Georgia, as well as Food Lion, to make sure no child is left without something to eat this summer. WSV's Nikiah Harris joins us now live from today's donation site, which is the Food Lion store on King George Boulevard. Nikiah?
That's right. We're at the Food Lion on the south side of Savannah, and like you said, King George Boulevard, and it is a good day for giving. And if you're sitting at home wondering for what I donate, it's because we have some good examples here. So just in need, especially when they can't get those consistent meals during the school year. And for now, I am joined with Miriam Langley, the CEO of Second Harvest of Coastal Georgia. Volunteers play a critical role in giving back to these kids and families, especially during the summer months. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, volunteers are absolutely critical to what we do, and especially during the summertime when we're preparing summer meals for children. So to give you an idea, all of the meals, up to 8,000 meals a day, which is 8,000 children that we're serving, are made every day with the support of volunteers. We have individuals that come in, groups that come in each and every day to make sure those meals are going out to children.
And as we look at some of these items on the table, can you walk us through how donations like these actually get into the hands of local children and families in the area?
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Well, we are so fortunate because alongside our kitchen, we have an absolutely incredible amount of partner agencies. And so all of these items will go directly to our partners where families will come and get them, and they can self-select. It's a choice system where they can pick what works for their household and their children. So if we've got children that want cereal, milk, no milk right here, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches they can make on their own, anything that they can move out with a tap and put and heat up themselves is so critical too, and all healthy items. So it's all, these food drive items are so critical to the families that need them.
And do you have a message for, I know someone just dropped off a bag not too long ago, but do you have a message to those people who have been pitching in to help the families across our area?
Yes, just thank you as loudly as we can say it, because it is the impact is immense, and it will literally go to a household tomorrow. So thank you so much for making their summer a little bit brighter.
Thank you, Ms. Langley. Now, before we go, if you can't make it down here, we will have a QR code on your screen where you can donate monetarily. Every dollar helps provide at least 5 meals for kids in our area.